Welcome to the Week in Review, the show that brings you up to date on the week that was. Here are the top stories. RBI puts the government in the spotlight over the economy. Infosys survives a key lawsuit in the US. And authorities will conduct a fresh safety audit of 2 airlines. We begin with the Reserve Bank, which has firmly placed the responsibility for economic revival on the government. Its annual report on Thursday said cutting interest rates would not be enough to spur growth. RBI said the economy was not likely to turn around because of a lack of policy decisions. The Reserve Bank also said that with few signs of a global recovery, India would have to change its policies to attract investment and boost demand. It also recommended that the government scale back subsidies and increase capital expenditure. Moving on, a new report has signalled the rising problem of corporate debt. The study from Credit Suisse looks at 10 large conglomerates. It says loans to these groups have shot up 5 times over the last 5 years. Their total debt now looms at 539,500 crores. The companies in question include the SR Group, GMR, GVK and Adani Enterprises. The Credit Suisse report points out the key problems from this sort of debt. One is a concentration of risk because a handful of companies have picked up such a large share of loan money. The other is the challenge of paying back. Despite the poor monsoons, there's little evidence that farmers are switching to crops that consume less water. New sowing data shows a 13% drop in area being used for coarse cereals. Land where pulses are being sown has reduced 12.39%. In contrast, land under rice cultivation is down just 3.57%, and for sugarcane the reduction is 4.53%. Both rice and sugarcane require a lot more water to grow. A new report has identified the causes of the mega blackouts that occurred on the 31st of July and the 1st of August. The report from a Central Electricity Authority panel says UP, Punjab and Haryana drew more electricity than they were supposed to, but it added that technical mistakes and maintenance shutdowns also contributed to the collapse. A poor monsoon increased the already high demand for electricity and caused the northern grid to collapse on the 31st of July. An even worse blackout occurred the next day, affecting 3 grids and an estimated 700 million people. Software giant Infosys has survived a major legal battle in the US. A district court has dismissed a harassment case against the company. The court said that the judgment was in favor of Infosys. It said the allegations against the company did not warrant legal action under Alabama state law. Infosys has welcomed the decision, calling it a vindication of its stance. An employee of Infosys in the US had alleged that he was harassed after he pointed out fraud in the business visa filings. 2 struggling airlines are under scrutiny over their safety standards. Mint has learned that the aviation regulator DGCA is doing safety audits of both Kingfisher Airlines and Air India Express. Both airlines face severe financial challenges. Back in December, DGCA conducted safety audits of all carriers. It found major problems in the operations of Kingfisher and Air India Express. And here are some stories in brief. Retail inflation has eased slightly in July. The consumer price index for the month stood at 9.86%. That's compared to 9.93% in June. The retail inflation figures are roughly in line with those for wholesale inflation, which also eased in July. Air India is looking to sell 5 of its long-range aircraft at current prices. This follows the airline's unsuccessful efforts at leasing the planes. The aircraft in question are fuel-hungry Boeing 777s, which Air India uses for long-haul flights to North America. And finally, Maruti Suzuki has resumed work at its Manesar factory after a month-long hiatus. About 65 workers streamed in under heavy security from the local police. Maruti had asked some 300 employees to return to work. Back in July, a riot at the Manesar plant had left 1 manager dead and another 100 managers and supervisors injured. And that's all we have for you. Thanks for watching.